Okay, I guess call to order and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
All right. Commissioner Bolin.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Commissioner Duran.
Here.
Commissioner Halby.
Here.
Commissioner Marsh.
Here.
Let the record show that Chairman Verdugo and Vice Chair Pole Mohammed are absent. We have a quorum.
Okay, is there any old business?
Minutes. We're on minutes now.
Okay. Anybody, everybody read the minutes for last meeting?
Yes.
Have any questions? Or anybody want to make a motion to?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from October 5th, 2016.
Second that. Okay, a second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Favor?
Aye.
Oh, did I do that?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Motion carried.
Okay, got first item is Cool PZ 1610-6 regarding a zone request initiated by the city of Coolidge, approximately 27 acres of land located in the community of Randolph, changing the zoning from general rural GR to general industrial I2. Tim, did you want to address that?
Okay. Chairman and Commissioners, this item is on here by mistake. In my efforts to clean up all our past annexations related to zoning, I sent this to the paper, we advertised it, and then as I was working on my staff report, I realized that you guys already saw this case and the council acted on it back in February of this year. So we do not actually need to do this item, and we can move on to item B.
Okay.
So is there a motion that we have to make for it, or is it just we just move on?
There's nothing to be done for it. It's already,
Okay.
I think it'd be redundant at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
We left this on the agenda because we did advertise it as tonight, so we wanted anybody that would show up on this item would know why we're tabling it.
Okay, item B is Cool PZ 16-10-7. Rezoning request initiated by the city of Coolidge for approximately 1,208 acres located at the Coolidge Airport. Changing the zoning from general rural GR to and light industry and warehouse C1 or CI1 to general industrial I2. The APN is 400-38-004, 400-38-005, 400-38-006, 400-38-007, 400-39-0010, 400-39-002, 400-39-003.
That's a lot of parcel numbers. Commissioner Hill, rest of the commissioners, this item is for the Coolidge Airport, which the city annexed in two different pieces earlier this year. So the area is shown in red on the screen. This area is wholly owned by the city, with the exception of a few parcels owned by the Central Arizona Project. Our general plan has this designated as industrial manufacturing with a small sliver of commerce and business, and the existing county zoning, as you can see here, is general rural and CI1. Now, going forward with development of the airport, the appropriate zoning classification for this is I2, so as part of the annexation and getting appropriate zoning, we're just asking to zone this as we need to develop it further. Beyond that, I can entertain any questions you got.
What effect will this have on the airport use of it and the person that's out there running his airfield, Mr. Benson? Who is the airport manager out there that used the? I don't. You have a name for the guy that works out there and lives out there?
James Myers is our airport manager. Our fixed-based operator was Charlie Recker, and I don't believe we have one right now.
Okay.
Just to, Charlie was Coolidge Aviation. The city had a lease with Coolidge Aviation. Charlie was 50% owner of Coolidge Aviation. The other 50% owner was International Air Response. International Air Response, one of our tenants out there, bought out Charlie's share of Coolidge Aviation, and they now own the whole Coolidge Aviation. Still doing business as Coolidge Aviation. Technically still our fixed-based operator per the agreement that the city reached with Coolidge Aviation. They'll be handling the fuel tanks still and technically our fixed-based operator. There's some changes, some real positive changes going on at the airport. You know, I think that the International Air Response, which is really Travis and Billy Grantham, the Granthams own that company. They're headquartered out of the Mesa Gateway Airport. They have a large hangar out there that they currently operate out of. Actually, they sublease to Complete Parachute Solutions. And so they're continuing to have a presence out there and will want to see additional development. They'll continue to build the hangars that Charlie had hoped to continue to build, you know, on the remainder of the 10 acres that he has those clamshell hangars on. And they have some other future development plans. So you won't see much of Charlie out there in that office anymore. I do believe he continues to operate or own a hangar on the airport. You'll see him from time to time, but you won't see him in his old office that frequently.
So what effect will this zoning change to those people that are currently out there operating businesses or facilities for us?
This will make them compliant
Yes, the
rather than legal non-conforming.
it allows them they will have no impact. This will have no impact on the existing operations at the airport. If you look at our zoning ordinance, airports are a principally permitted use or a use that's permitted in the I-2 zoning district. The activities out there are all industrial uses. And our future plans for the expansion of the airport industrial park are for future general aviation and manufacturing uses out there.
Okay.
This annex, or this zoning case, like the rest of them on the agenda tonight, are necessary because we have annexed the properties into the city of Coolidge. And as such, we're required to rezone them to a city zoning within 6 months of annexation. Otherwise, they technically become unzoned and subject to no regulations.
Okay.
Is this also part of our general plan, consistent with that?
Yes. Our general plan, pretty much the whole airport is industrial and manufacturing designated, which I-2 zoning is compliant with.
All right.
Have any questions from the audience? Motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Cool PZ-16-10-07 as written.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Got second, so motion passed.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor? Okay, we gotta do that.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now it passes.
Oh.
All right, John, you get a learning curve.
Can't teach new tricks to old dogs. You know.
Cool dogs, huh?
There you go. Okay, the next one is Cool PZ 16-10-08. Zoning request initiated by the city of Coolidge for approximately 247 acres located along the CAP Canal between the Coolidge Avenue alignment and Bartlett Road alignment, changing the zoning from general rural, GR, to agriculture, AG, and I guess we don't need to read the legal.
No, you do not need to read that legal. The red area showed on screen, this was actually part of the Coolidge Airport annexation. This was the portion that gave us connectivity from existing city limits to the airport itself, and it is entirely composed of CAP Canal right-of-way. Let us draw from A to B and get the airport into the city limits. Without that, we would have had to deal with state land, and we have tried to do that unsuccessfully since about 2004. So we moved to Plan B. The area has several designations in the general plan. Being that it's CAP right-of-way with existing canal system, we do not envision any further development beyond maybe some more canal infrastructure on there. And the existing county zoning is GR. We're requesting a designation to agriculture, which is the city equivalent of the county's general rural designation.
Questions? Questions? Anyone from the audience want to ask questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move we accept Coolidge PZ 16-10-08.
I second.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, it passes. Next one is Cool PZ 16-10-09. Zoning request initiated by the city of Coolidge for approximately 162 acres located near the intersection of State Route 287 and 11 Mile Corner Road, changing the zoning from general rural, GR, to agriculture, AG.
Yeah, go ahead and read the parcel numbers.
Okay. Portion of section 22.
Oh,
township-
just the parcel numbers, John.
Oh, just parcel number. Okay, I'm sorry. 401-12-002G, 401-12-004, 401-12-011C, and 401-12-011D.
Okay. This area and another portion that you can see kind of the southeast corner of this is part of an active annexation the city has going called the Gin annexation. I believe we talked about this a little bit last meeting, and the conditional use permit that was on the agenda was also part of this annexation. This annexation has not gone to council. It is scheduled to go November 28th, so we're just kind of getting out ahead on the zoning. So pending a favorable recommendation from the commission, the council could potentially approve the annexation and the zoning in one meeting. Couple land designations in our general plan on this. The portion in green is the Sidewinder Dairy designated agriculture, with the balance being designated business and commerce. There's a gin on the large portion, and then the other areas over there are just vacant, undeveloped land. Currently in the county, the designation for the entire area within the annexation is general rural, and so we are requesting a comparable zoning as ag. We don't really know any development plans for the beyond the dairy, which will remain ag. The other ones could still come back in the future with a development plan and zone to some commercial zoning, C1, 2, 3, commercial office, anything like that, and be compliant with the general plan. But without a plan for development, we don't want to risk zoning it something that wouldn't allow them to develop it as they see fit. Ag is the safest bet. It's comparable to the county zoning, and it brings us into compliance with the state statute related to annexation and zoning.
Basically, you're just looking for an interim zoning then.
Correct.
And this is the same land that we talked about with the 50 acres of
Correct.
from last meeting.
Within the dashed area, the green portion was subject to the last meeting.
Okay. Okay.
It's appropriate to rezone something that we have not annexed yet?
You're not as a commission taking, you'll be making a recommendation, you're a recommending body on zoning matters. You're not making a final decision on this zoning. It doesn't become effective until the council takes an action on the zoning. They won't take action on the zoning if we are unable to annex this property into the city limits. So you're providing a recommendation to the council, so that's not uncommon
Getting out ahead of it.
getting out
Yeah,
ahead,
okay.
anticipating council approval of an annexation. We do have in the audience tonight some property owners that are here. I don't know if they want to, we wish to address the commission, but they are owners within the annexation area.
It is a public hearing, so anyone here for it is more than welcome to speak. All you have to do is open the hearing, Commissioner Hill.
Questions here?
I don't have any more questions.
Anybody out there have any questions or comments?
Do you feel it's a positive move for you?
Very good.
Okay, have any motions?
Let me just before Steve made an effort to come out tonight, I'll be brief. Been working with these property owners. They have the old gin, cotton gin. It's a remarkable building. I've been in that building. It's just a great historic structure. The activities that, there's a lot of potential for that property. It really is. In the future, this property is only about 1.5 miles from where they're tilting up the walls at the Phoenix Mart right now. This annexation is really an important area, I think, for future development. Probably commercial of some sort. And so pretty eager to see some activity on this land, even if there's something we can do in the interim. I know that we've talked about potentially some special events that might occur out here where they could actually lease or hold some activities out on this property to promote special events. We're just north of the county fairground properties. There's a great opportunity, I think, to do some fun things with the property in the interim until they find a buyer or they decide to develop this themselves. But it's just kind of an exciting piece of property that I think will be really beneficial to the city of Coolidge in the future.
Mr. Commissioner, I make a recommendation to approve Cool PZ-16-1009, the rezoning request initiated as written.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Turn that building into a gin mill. The next one is Cool PZ 16-10-09. Rezoning request issued by the city of Coolidge for approximately 9.3 acres located near the intersection of State Route 287, 11-mile corner.
It's a type.
Changing the zoning from general rural to general services C3. And the parcel numbers are 401-12-011B, 401-12-012, 401-12-013.
Mr. Chairman, this should be noted as Coolidge PZ 1610-10. There's a typo on your copy. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the correct number on the item.
There is an error on the staff report. The agenda is correct.
Yes.
Okay, that's 16-10-10.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Commissioner. This little sliver here is part of the same annexation we were just discussing, the Gin annexation. It is has a large frontage on 11 Mile Corner Road and 287. It is 3 parcels, but it is 1 property owner. This owner has spoke several times with City Manager Miller. There's the cornermost parcel has an old building on it, and there's a fruit stand there often. Sells produce and stuff like that. But the owners have expressed a desire to develop this into commercial property, gas stations, retail stores, uses that would be appropriate in a C3 zoning, which is what we're proposing to recommend to council tonight. That zoning would be compliant with our general plan of business and commerce. That's an acceptable zoning for that designation. Currently in the county, they are also designated GR, but we can still recommend a zone to C3 should you see fit.
Is that property owner here this evening?
No, sir.
Looks to me like that's appropriate for the corner.
That, I go through there often to and from work, and it's kind of an eyesore, quite honestly. Is there, their desire to come into the city, now at what point do they reflect the city's expectations for property maintenance? Has that been discussed?
They would fall under the city code for code enforcement and things like that 30 days after council passes ordinance.
I have had that conversation with the owner of this property. I don't believe they feel that there's any value in the buildings that are there. They have actually cleaned it up. If you've not been by there recently, they took the old fruit stands gone. It's just a couple of shell buildings there that are, I think one used to be a bar. Is that right?
Yep.
A bar and a gas station. So, I think their intentions are, would be to tear them down eventually. There's nothing to save there. And, I'd like to work with them on cleaning that corner up, changing the image of that corner. And I think that would be their desire. I don't know what their timing is on that, but they have cleaned it up. And if we can keep the weeds down and keep it boarded up, that'd be a good start. But maybe we can eventually get them to tear it down as well.
Make a motion that we accept Coolidge, we recommend Coolidge PZ 1610-10 for acceptance with the council.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Done. So are there any other business?
Reports from the chairman or development services director. So if you guys have anything to report. I have nothing. Rick does.
I would like to report just briefly. I guess I'm technically still the Development Services Director. We did change the name of the department, as you know, from Growth Management to Development Services, and I'm really happy with that name. Also happy to report that we do have an individual to be taking my place as the Development Services Director. Many of you know this gentleman, Gilbert Lopez. Served on the city council for a number of years, resigning from the council, and also retiring from the city of Glendale, where he has spent much of his career there and in Chandler, working in community development and redevelopment and neighborhood revitalization and many of the things that we do in our office. So Gilbert is very well known. He's local. He lives here, has a home here, and I'm excited to get him on board working with a great team. Appreciate Tim and his effort tonight. He did this staff report. I've been doing city manager things, and Tim is extremely capable and will help Gilbert tremendously in the role as Development Services Director. Just a couple of other things to report. There have been a number of changes in the city organization. Lisa Pinella, if you know her, our city finance director, will be retiring tomorrow. Will be her last day. She'll be coming back to work for the city in January through June to help on some special projects or budget items and other projects through SmartWorks just for 6 months. And then we have Susanna Struble, our public works director, recently took a position with is it town of Gilbert, city of Gilbert? I don't remember, town. And she's their one of their assistant city engineers. And I have appointed Matt Rencher. He's our current civil engineer. I appointed him to be the interim public works director / city engineer. He's a professional engineer, civil engineer, with lots of credentials, bilingual, is doing a great job, but he'll be in an interim position there for the next 6 months until we decide what we're going to do that with that position, with that permanent assignment. Not filling the civil engineer position that he is leaving, and leave that vacant. Also, I meant to say that Gabe Garcia will be coming in, has accepted the position that Lisa Pinella is vacating in finance.
Like a yo-yo.
Yeah, and I've got our building official, James Myers, is now our airport manager. We will have a stronger presence at our airport, serving customers that fly in and out of the airport. We'll do a tremendous job there. We'll continue to oversee multi-million-dollar grant projects. One will be starting here next Monday, the extension of Taxiway B, or Taxiway Bravo, if you want to talk in terms of, I guess the airport language. And, is doing a great job at the airport. Dennis Gillespie, he's our building official. He will now be serving as the city's building official in the Development Services Department. So we've had a lot of changes, all very positive, been very busy, and not a lot of development activity right now. The new Circle K opened. It's a tremendous asset and looks great. We've got a lot of roadway projects that will be commencing here very soon. The City Council did approve a $2.55 million general obligation. I don't remember the exact term. It's not really a loan. It's like an obligation loan where they pledge sales tax. The repayment of this 15-year loan, 1.95% interest, tremendous rate. Lucky they got that rate now, because I suspect that the interest rates are probably going to go up a little bit. But we'll be doing a number of roadway improvements, the first being the completion of Main between Coolidge Avenue and Pinkley, as well as Central Avenue in front of City Hall. And then there are a number of other projects in the community that will be also improved, much like you've seen recently in recent years through our Public Works Department. A lot of good things going on. That's my report.
Very good.
Well, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.